Hi, I'm Dr. Alan Widener from Massage Chair Relief, and today is our bi-weekly massage chair industry update for Friday, December 10th, 2021. Thank you so much for joining me today. We had our first snowfall today here in Utah, and of course we need it for the drought that we're going through here in the dry desert. But I hope those of you that are in the snow geographical areas aren't getting hit too hard to make life miserable. Of course, we need the moisture, but boy, oh boy, sometimes snow can make a mess. My wife left this morning on normally a 20-minute commute to work, and it took her 1 hour to get there. So all the best to you during the storm season. Anyways, Black Friday is behind us, and now we look forward to Christmas and of course the whole holiday season. It is a brisk time for massage chair sales because people are buying them for their families and for themselves for Christmas. Of course, there's back order issues still, and we have talked about back order issues for as long as I can remember now, for the last year and a half. And actually there was some, of course, we've talked about how there's backups at the port because the ships can't get through the ports and through customs. There's a shortage of truckers to get the chairs out to where they need to go. There's a shortage of containers back in China bringing product over. So there's all kinds of problems. But I read an article just this morning from CNN Business, and the title of the article is "Glimmers of Hope. Glimmers of hope emerge in the supply chain nightmare." And I'll just read you a little bit of this. It says, "Epic port congestion is easing." And of course, this is music to our ears. "Shipping prices are falling from sky-high levels. Deliveries are speeding up a bit. There are growing signs that the supply chain mess is finally starting to get cleaned up." And I'm very happy to hear that. Now, they go on to say that this doesn't mean that the nightmare is over. It's not, and the situation may not get anywhere near back to normal anytime soon. But I'll take better over worse any day, even if it's not back to normal. Businesses are still grappling with a troubling shortage of truck drivers. Critical components, including computer chips, remain scarce, and the Omicron variant, COVID variant, threatens to put renewed pressure on supply chains. But it says still there is evidence that bottlenecks are beginning to unclog. That is encouraging, given that unprecedented stress on supply chains has contributed significantly to historic levels of inflation in the United States. So I'm very happy to hear that. Of course, for those of you that want to order a massage chair that's back ordered, that's not great news, and there are still quite a few back orders. Many of the Furniture for Life products are still on back order. Some of the Infinity products are just starting to come in now. The Ogawa and JP Medics chairs are starting to come in also. So all these companies are starting to get some inventory, but it may be difficult to get what you want by Christmas because of the supply chain issue. Anyways, back orders are still there, but they are changing. So, they are starting to come and get filled. Of course, everything will be here by the first of the year, and then we should have good stock for most companies at that time. And by the way, as far as getting chairs by Christmas Day, a lot of the cutoff dates for white glove delivery have long passed, and even curbside delivery is up in the air for some, depending on where you live. So, for example, we live in I live here in Utah, but we have a store in Southern California, and a lot of the chairs ship out of Southern California, so we can get a chair to you pretty quick if it's in stock, and so we can still provide in-home delivery and setup for you before Christmas. There's other places, certain chairs like the Loracos and the Osaki Titan chairs that come out of Texas. Depends on where you are relative to Texas. We just had a couple of orders this morning for not Dallas where they're located, but for a couple of Osaki chairs for Austin and New Braunfels, and that's pretty close. They'll get their chairs before Christmas, most likely. So it all depends on where you're at, your location, and of course the stock of the chair. Anyways, and we won't talk much more about that. I should also mention that Lorac Legend, the Lorac Legend Plus S or L track chair they've discontinued the chocolate brown color of that model. The Genesis Max, I guess we thought that Genesis Max is an Infinity chair, and it replaced the old Infinity Genesis chair. And the old Infinity Genesis had a black interior with a gray plastic exterior and a brown upholstery interior with a gray plastic exterior, and it had a rose gold color. Well, when we first brought the Genesis Max on to replace it, it had the same colors. But I just found out last week, as a matter of fact, that the rose gold is not rose gold, they're calling it tan. And so the pictures on the website show some gold trim, and that color is going to be more of a tan color in real life with the real tan color chair. So those are some color things that have changed this last week. Okay, I think that's about it in terms of news and whatnot. I wanted to mention something about direct-to-consumer massage chair sales. Now, all the chairs we sell are not direct-to-consumer. They're sold by the distributor through retailers like ourselves, who become advocates for our buyers. So if there's ever a problem with the chair, or you're having, you need to get some issue resolved or whatever, we are your middleman, we are your advocate if you have a problem. The problem with direct-to-consumer massage chair sales is that if the chair has a problem and you want to get it fixed, you contact the distributor from whom you bought the chair, and they don't respond, or they're responding poorly, which is not uncommon, and that is not just uncommon with direct-to-consumer distributor sales, but even the brand name retail network chairs that we sell. Sometimes there's issues with getting problems resolved. Well, if a customer has a problem getting a problem getting the chair fixed, or a problem with the customer support of the distributor, who is the one who actually fixes the chair through the warranty, they have us to go to as mediators. If you have a direct-to-distributor sale, a chair that you've purchased, you have no other advocate. If they don't help you and they don't answer the phone and they don't want to deal with you anymore, they won't. And of course that can lead to all kinds of problems with reviews and anger and frustration and this, that, or the other. Also with the direct-to-consumer chair products or chair sales, there can be times where you don't get the honest goods on the reviews, because the reviews are all done on their websites, on their properties, and so they can manipulate the reviews. So it looks like all the reviews are great, and I'm not just saying this. I'm not just pulling this out of some magic hat. We have seen review manipulation. We have actually seen it and had to deal with it, and so. When you have a retailer, like for example, if someone wants to leave a review about a chair that we sell on our website, and it's a miserable review of that chair, we will publish it. We don't only publish the good stuff, we publish the bad stuff. We publish the bad stuff about us too. And so those are a couple of the things that kind of rub me the wrong way about the direct-to-consumer massage chair sales. It doesn't mean they're all like that. It doesn't mean you're going to have a problem with your chair. It just means that you could have some issues that you need to deal with when you don't have an advocate for yourself. If there's a problem with the chair, or if you're having a beef with the chair or beef with the company, and they're not responding, we can get involved, because they want us, our brands, which are brand name chairs like Panasonic and Furniture for Life and Daiwa and Human Touch and Infinity, they want their retailers to be happy. If they're not, then the retailers are not going to sell their chairs. And so it is important to them that their retailers are happy. So if a retailer contacts them and says, hey, you're not taking care of Mr. John Doe, you need to take care of them, and they will often listen to us when maybe sometimes they'll be a little deaf or blind to what a customer is complaining about. So those are not a main, but a couple of my issues. If you want to read more about some of the things that concern me about our industry and this is one of the things, you can go to my website and go to the education menu and download, or go to the free download menu item of the education menu, and you can download my Buyer Beware booklet, which I wrote just about almost a year ago, and it's a book I put a lot of time into. It's a booklet, I think it's about 25 pages, 24 pages, but I find it, the information in there I found to be crucial, because these are things that I have had to deal with customers that are upset, or customers who have felt cheated, or customers who feel like they're being manipulated or misled by media. So anyways, I just wanted to talk about that. And I'm writing an article right now. I wrote an article last week about return policies, and I would encourage you to just please, and I've talked about this. So this massage chair industry update, the things I'm telling you for the most part it's nothing new, or they're nothing new, but the return policies are an issue, and I've talked about this, and I wrote an article about it. So I would go to my blog, article library, or blog as we call it, on my website, and read the article on return policies. There's things that you never even thought to ask or look into when you're looking to buy a chair from a retailer. What is the return policy? How long is it? What does it mean? What's your refund going to be like? What are the charges are going to charge you? So all these things. There's a whole bunch. There's 20 questions on there. 20 questions to ask yourself or the retailer about the return policies. Or return policy. And anyways, check that article out. I'm writing another article right now talking about the discontinued brands of massage chairs. And I get calls, my goodness, we get calls, I would say every week, or emails or something from someone who has a chair that they want to get fixed, but the chair is non-existent, or the brand or the company that markets the chair is non-existent anymore. And some of these companies, for example, are like Sanyo massage chairs, King Kong massage chairs, Neox massage chairs, Omega massage chairs, Osam massage chairs that you used to be able to get at Brookstone. These manufacturers and these distributors do not sell these chairs anymore, and so what do you do when you've got a chair that's broken down and you want to get it fixed? Well, if you need to get parts for that chair, good luck with some of them, because you cannot. Massage chair components are unique and proprietary to a particular company, or unique to a particular chair model or a set of models. And as technology changes, a lot of those older parts become obsolete. And so, like for example, just as an example, the King Kong chairs, they used to be really popular chairs. They were owned by a company called America Lighting, and King Kong used to sell through Costco like tons of chairs, and we still get calls from King Kong owners, although King Kong or American Lighting shut down the King Kong line years ago, like I would say maybe 10 years ago. I've been in the business, since 2005, so it's probably more than 10 years ago, probably 12, 13, 14 years ago. I still get calls on King Kong chairs. And how are you going to get parts for it? They're not even around anymore. You could try to find the factory where they were made, and I don't know if all the King Kong models were made in the same factories. So you'd have to find out who the factory is, first of all, and if they even have parts for that chair, being as old as it is. So now there's, like Sanyo was bought out by Panasonic, but Panasonic did not retain any of the old, 7700 or 6700 models of the Sanyos. And they were good chairs, but Panasonic bought them out, and they pretty much made the old Sanyo massage chairs obsolete. So how do you get parts for that? There are places online maybe that you could go and look for parts for Sanyo 7700 or 8700, but the chances are slim that they'll still have parts, because that buyout was also about 10 years, maybe more than 10, maybe 15 years ago. And then there's Neox. Neox was a really popular line years ago, and before I even got in the business, I'd heard about Neox, and they sold their chairs through trade shows and home shows and things like that. Well, that line has become obsolete, but I still get calls, and it's not as many as maybe King Kong or Sanyo, but we still get calls about Neox chairs. Well, there's a chair by Infinity called the IT 9800, which is essentially the same chair. But Infinity, when they started distributing that model, the 9800, they moved the manufacturing from Taiwan to China. And who knows if the parts are still compatible? We don't know. But there are now OSIM that makes OSIM made chairs for Brookstone after Brookstone was bought out by OSIM. Brookstone used to sell chairs like Human Touch and Panasonic, et cetera, et cetera. But then OSIM, the company called OSIM, which is a manufacturing company in China, they bought Brookstone, and they started putting in their own chairs. And you might remember some chairs like U Divine and U something or other, letter U, and Divine and U something or other. But anyways, those models aren't around anymore, and of course Brookstone has gone under, except for some airport stores. The chance of getting parts for those chairs might be very difficult. So anyways, the OSIM is still around, but I don't know if the technology is still there for the parts that you need for your chair. So anyways, I'm writing an article about that, so maybe check that out. Hopefully we'll be done that by early next week. But those are a couple things I wanted to warn you about. Discontinued chairs, it's tough to get them fixed. Now, there's a company that we use often called Jez Enterprises, and they do repairs on massage chairs, warranty work for all the massage chair companies around the country. And I usually refer people to them because they've probably dealt with every kind of chair under the sun, and they could tell you if they could get parts for, well, I don't know if they could get parts, but they could tell you if the chair can be repaired without needing parts, perhaps. They'll send out a tech to evaluate it, but if you need parts and you can't get them, good luck. It doesn't matter if they can figure out what the problem is, if they can't get parts for them. Some people think that it's like chairs have like a universal remote control, where you've got one remote control and you can use it on any TV, you know what I mean, or any chair. In the chair example, you can't. Every remote control is proprietary and unique to that model or to that factory or to that distributor. So it's tough. It's tough. So I feel bad for people that have discontinued chairs. Heck, there's chairs that we've sold that have been discontinued, and it's hard to get parts for them. Furniture for Life has been fantastic in keeping inventory for their chairs. As a matter of fact, there's a chair that we sold for a customer back when we used to have the old Doctor's Choice massage chair. That was years ago. And you know what? They still have parts for that chair. That chair, I think we stopped. I think it was discontinued in 2011, so like 10 years ago. They still have parts for that chair. And so Furniture for Life, they maintain a good inventory of parts. But I can't say that about some of the other companies. And if you do have a chair that breaks down and you can't get parts for it, and the company is still around, and they don't have the parts, and some of these companies will have a backup plan, like you can buy the next model up for a very discounted price to make it worth your while. But even other companies don't do that. They just say it's tough luck. And so you might need to negotiate with them and say, hey, well, do you have any open box chairs I can get? Or if is there anything that anything that you can help me with, another model or another version of this chair that's a return or it still works, or open box, whatever. So you might have to negotiate with the massage chair company if you find that they can't get parts for your chair anymore and the chair's not working. Well, we had one situation where the person bought a chair, and while the warranty was still intact, the chair was discontinued and the parts were we couldn't get them. I have a chair sitting in the back of my Utah showroom that a customer dropped off 2 years ago wanting parts for this chair. And we contacted the distributor and said, can we get parts? Well, it'll take 6 months to get the parts. 6 months later, no parts. We called, it's going to take 6 more months. And this has been forever. And I just told the customer, I said, we can't. This chair is not going to get fixed. They will not get the parts for it, or they cannot get the parts for it. And so we offered another chair, like one of our pre-owned chairs at a deep discount, just to try to make it up to them. But anyways, those are the kinds of hassles you could run into with massage chairs. And it's not just, it's not just old chairs that have been discontinued for years. It's, current companies that might have discontinued models that you just bought a few years ago and they don't have parts for it. Hopefully they do. In my mind, if a company doesn't, you're going to have one of three options. Number one is the company has parts for all their models, no matter how far back they go. They're going to have some parts available. Or if they don't, they're going to have a program in their business that allows you to get a chair at a cheaper price to replace it, to make it worth your while. Or the third option is They don't have the chair anymore, it's discontinued, and they don't have parts, and they're not going to get you parts. That's option C, which is the bad one, but that does happen. So anyways, all right, I'm losing my voice. Obviously, I've been talking too long, and I apologize if I have. I appreciate all those that view our videos, and I hope you find some information valuable when you listen to them or watch them. If you did find this one valuable, please feel free to thumbs up, like us on our YouTube channel, and of course, help us spread the word about massage chairs, and of course, about our company by sharing these videos with your friends and family on your various and sundry social media platforms. Well, I'm Dr. Alan Widener from MassageChairRelief.com, and I will see you again in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.